Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Wemimo and I'm also known as that mom of 5. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. So today I thought I would share this story of a time when my 2-year-old daughter, even though she's 10, was almost kidnapped while we're in church. This story time was brought on by a certain woman called Ruth Matthews and this prophet Jeremiah or Motto or something. Well, as for mine has got nothing to do with pastor or anything like that. It was just obviously reading what happened in regards to her losing a child. Like, one of her child was kidnapped in a church, around or within a church premises. I was really not following that story, but obviously I watched the summary from Summer Aku vlogs, and I just thought, oh my god, that no parent deserves to lose a child at any time or at any point of their lives. So which was what brought me here to kind of like share my experience that, you know, children being kidnapped could happen anywhere, especially if the parents kind of like lost that split second of when their children are not with them. So in my own case, it was not as maybe my daughter was not in my care. So it happened that it was a beautiful Sunday morning. We went to church. Church was fun. It was a summer period. Church was fun, and just after service ended, we moms and sisters were just kind of like chatting away, catching up with everything. And then I think it was probably around maybe an hour or so after service, and all the kids were playing and downstairs in the church environment. So our church is situated in a gated compound, so mostly during when there are services going on, the gates are open so people come in and go out. Meanwhile, this area where this church is situated is mostly occupied by Eastern Europe residents. I don't know how to describe it in another word, but that's just the word I'm going to use to describe the kind of residents who live there. So it's a bubbling West End city, kind of like closer to South Side, but that area mostly Western European residents live there. So we finished church service that day. We're all like, you know, chatting away, catching up and stuff, and all the kids were playing in the compound downstairs. And all of a sudden, my second son, who was about 4 or almost 5, came upstairs, ran upstairs and said, mommy, some girls have taken Maria. And I'm like, what? Took Maria? Who took Maria? She was like, hey mom, we were playing downstairs and these girls came in there. It's like 3 or 4 of them, and they were playing with Maria, and before you knew it, that they started taking Maria and they left. I was like, left where? You need to see how I took off these heel shoes I was wearing. You need to see how I flung it, how I jumped down the flight of stairs to find myself downstairs. And when I got to the compound, I was like trying to look at, maybe my son doesn't know what I was talking about, like Maria, and they were like, oh, none of them even had an idea what was going on. So I was like, oh Ines, where did you say they took Maria? They were like, hey mommy, they took her out. So I went outside of the compound. I looked to the right, I didn't see any girl, and then I looked to the left and I saw a couple of young girls rushing, like walking really fast down the street. They were almost about to exit into the left, which is into another street. So immediately I saw them and the pace that they were going, I ran after them. You need to see how I ran, as if my life depended on it. I ran, and by the time I ran, they were already cornered into the next street. They were about to take another corner when I glanced at them. I shouted like, where are you going? And then I saw there were 4 of them. Thinking back, I think their age, they're probably going to be between 12 and 15, and there were 4 of them, and they were dressed in all this big outfit that even if they hid my daughter underneath their outfit, nobody would know they were hiding somebody. And then I pounced on them, where are you taking her to? And then I saw 4 of them holding they were carrying my daughter like a bag, like an heavy bag. So all 4 of them were holding, and then they were walking quite. You need to see how I pounced on them and grabbed my daughter. They're like, where are you taking her to? Is she your sister? Do you know her? I was raging, like, do you know her? Did you come with her? Why are you taking her? Where are you taking her to? But before I knew it, all the other women, I didn't even notice anybody was coming behind me. They were all the other women gathered around me and like, oh, thank God that you got her. This is that. So we walked back to the church. We told the pastor about it, and in fact, at that point, it did not even occur to me to maybe call the police, because obviously I already got my daughter back, and these people that took this girl, I don't know them because there's a lot of them, and they're just like us black people that you can't really identify us. We look alike. That's how these people are. They're like girls, they all have like the same length of hair, they're almost the same height. How will I want to describe, I mean, how do I describe to the police that this is what they look like and stuff like that? You know what, I just grabbed throughout that time. In fact, immediately we got back, I said to the kid, yeah, in the car, let's go home. Because in my head I was thinking, what was I going to say to her dad? Like, you went to church with 5 children and you came back with 1. I mean, you came back with 4. 1 is missing. Where did the 1 go? You know, that kind of a thing. That was a thought in my head. And this also reminded me of the Madeleine McCann. I'm sure you all know. I don't know if you guys heard about that story of Madeleine McCann. Her parents traveled on holiday to Portugal, and they traveled with Madeleine and her 2 younger siblings who are twins. So while they were eating out in a restaurant, they decided to leave Madeleine and her younger siblings in their hotel while they slept at night, only for them to return from their dinner with their friends to find that their daughter was missing. Till right now that I'm talking to you, they've not found Madeleine McCann. And this incident happened, I think, in 2007. So it's been almost 13 years or 14 years, and they've not found this girl. They've not found this girl. They are still looking for her. So in a way, I'm thinking, well, there's negligence on the part of the parents. Like, you traveled abroad. Yeah, maybe you've been traveling there several times, but why did you let your guard down? You're going to have a dinner. Why can't you order a dinner in your hotel resort with your friends and have dinner there? But you thought, oh, because the place you're going to have dinner is just like a stone throw to your hotel, you decided to leave your daughter, your children in the hotel room, even though they did stated that the parents stated that they themselves and their friends were taking turns to go watch the children. But then by the time they got back, their daughter was gone. Till right now that I am talking to you, they've not found Madeleine McCann. They've not found her. There's never been any, I mean, the press are still going on about her. Her parents are still looking for her. Her parents are both medical doctors. They are still looking for her. The police here in the UK are still working with the parents to find her. But till this moment, they've not found that girl. So this kind of like brings me back to the story of this Ruth and this pastor. I felt there's negligence on the part of the mother as well. Like, you went to a church in an area that is not as if you are living there permanently. Even though if you are living there and somebody asks you that, oh, where did they buy some? They are old enough to take their own time and walk out of the church compound to its surroundings to find somewhere to buy noodles or whatever it is they were looking for. So you went to that church for miracle with your own children. It's not as maybe you carried a sister or a friend along, and for you to now say that your children should go with so people to go and buy food. Like, what mother does that? So I felt there's some sort of negligence on the part of the mother, that if I don't care what kind of friendship you formed with those people while you're at that church, you shouldn't have let your children or your child go with anybody anywhere. They are grown-up adults. They should be able to find the location or whereabout they want to find food for themselves without you endangering the lives of your children. And in terms of the pastor aspect of it, it was in a church. This child was in this church, and if this woman came out to say that our child went missing from the church, the pastor might not even know anything about the disappearance of this child. The pastor might not even know, and the pastor might know. But if on a true level that the pastor or this church does not know anything about this child missing, I'm sure for the fact that the Ruth girl, the mother has brought it to their attention that, oh, their child, our son is missing, and as people have been saying that there's CCTV camera in the church, just in the process of trying to clear your name as a pastor and as a church that you know nothing about the disappearance of this child, I believe you have an obligation to this child mother. Okay, fine, this parent came to my church, this son was in my church, the people who took the child to buy food came from my church. I've heard that people saying there were CCTV cameras in the church. So while you might say, oh, I don't know nothing about this child, but this child came to your church and there are security CCTV cameras in the church. Yeah, in the process of trying to look for this child, you can use that opportunity to clear your name as well. But if you're now using the power you've got to arrest the mother, saying that she's saying ill things about you, that does not help in any way. It's just a matter of you trying to use your riches to cover the faces of to suffer the person who has no riches. I mean, we all know, as people say, that the church is a place of refuge. It should be a place that anybody can come into. Even nowadays that you go to most churches, the doors are shut. From what we've read in the Bible, I've not read that churches are shut. the doors of the church should be open 24/7, but obviously with everything going on around these days, thieving, stealing, church doors are shut. If there are any service during the week, they open them. So what I'm trying to say in the question, in what I'm trying to say is this, that as a parent, you should not ever never let your guard down when you are out and about with your children, either old or young. You can imagine in my own case, my daughter was 2 years old. She could barely talk. She was a baby. Like, I remember her picture, like me talking about the story, I could just, a picture then is just flashing in front of me. Like, she was so young. And the kind of outfit that those girls were wearing, they could have just popped her underneath their clothing and nobody would know they were hiding a child. I mean, if our brother was not there, maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't know where my daughter is. So my advice to parents is that no matter where you are going, either far away from home, never ever let your guard down when it comes to your children. Always ensure you keep your eye on them. If it's possible for you to, if it's possible for you not to take them out when you're going, leave them at home with someone that you know will look after them, than taking them to wherever you're going and you will not be able to kind of like keep your eye on them. As for me, I'm not always keen taking my kids out, because we all know children can be funny. They might go out and they might start misbehaving, and the way you want to if you want to kind of like scold them or discipline them, you won't be able to do so, because you'll be kind of like watchful of people that are looking at you. So that they don't disgrace your enemy, so that they don't disgrace you, I'd rather just leave them at home. Let them enjoy whatever they want to enjoy at home, or stay with their dad. And if it is a situation whereby I can't leave them at home, I take them with me and I make sure they are sitting where I am sitting. I make sure where they are, my eyes are like this with theirs. They are not far from me at all. So in this instance, I'm just hoping and praying that this mother, I hope she finds her son. And I pray and hope that whoever knows about the appearance of this son or disappearance of this child comes forward and speak about the disappearance of, or where they could find this boy from. So I felt this is a lesson for all parents. It could happen to a mother, it could happen to a father, so it could happen to anybody. My advice is that we should never ever let our guards down at any time. And I'm quite surprised that for the fact that this woman came out saying that her son went missing from the church, there's no, I mean, press in Nigeria are not talking about it. Press in Nigeria are not talking about it. This story I only found out through Soma Aku's channel. I'm surprised that it's only YouTubers that are actually talking about this instance. Maybe the pastor doesn't know anything about it, or the pastor knows nothing about it, but this is an innocent child that is missing, and no press channel in Nigeria is actually talking about it, which I'm kind of like shocked. Like, I'm totally shocked. Here in the UK, where Madeleine McCann went missing, every news channel within the UK were talking about her. Like, you see press are kind of like stalking her parents. At some point, they were like, the parents knew about her disappearance, because there were lots of stories that the parents must have spied their daughter, or the parents must have, in fact, there were lots of stories, but the press were going on about it. That I don't think there's anybody here in the UK that would say they've not heard about the story of Madeleine McCann, you know? So I'm shocked and surprised that a news like this came out. It is social media, it is content creators on YouTube, on Facebook that are actually talking about it, and I don't think I've seen any media house. I barely watch Nigerian news channel anyway, but a few that I watch, I've not seen them talk about this incident. I've not. May God help us. So like I said, mothers, parents, be very vigilant in regards to when you're going out with your children. If it's possible for you to leave them at home, please leave them at home with someone you know will look after them. And if it's not possible for you to leave them at home, if you want to take them with you to wherever you're going, make sure your eyes are on them like mother hen. The way mother hen will watch our babies from the hawk, make sure you are watching them. So that's just my take on this incident or on this story. And if this story has kind of like gave you sense, don't forget to drop a comment in the comment section. Have you ever experienced anything like this before? What do you think about what is going on in regards to this situation? Like I said, I'm not really following the story. I only read about it from Soma Aku's channel, but I really want to know what actually happened to that boy as well. So feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. Subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Share if you have enjoyed and learned a thing or two from this video, and turn on that post notification, which is a tiny bell, and this bell will just notify you of any time I upload another video. And I hope to catch up with you in another video. Bye.